late film critic Pauline Kael is sort of a guru of film analysis. She said once that movies are made for everybody, but not every single movie is made for every single body. Well, this week we proved that fact with a trio of films that will entertain some, as it will bore and confuse others. Films way out there on the lunatic fringe. First out of the gate is Adaptation, now in theaters. Nicolas Cage plays dual roles, one of which is Charlie Kaufman, a neurotic screenwriter struggling with his latest project, a screen version of a book about orchid thieves.
First, I think it's a great book. I just don't want to ruin it by making it a Hollywood thing, you know, like an orchid heist movie or something.
Now, it's a fantasy tale, or maybe it's not. See, Charlie Kaufman is the real screenwriter of Adaptation, and there really is a book about orchid thieves. Now, the names are real, and sometimes you have real actors playing themselves in cameos. It's a movie about the origins of the movie that you're watching right now. It's like looking into a mirror and seeing yourself looking into a mirror, looking into a mirror. And once you figured all that out, well, the story changes gears altogether and takes you on a completely different path. Or maybe it doesn't.
I'm putting in a chase sequence. So the killer flees on horseback with the girl, the cops after them on a motorcycle. And it's like a battle between motors and horses, like technology versus horse.
Adaptation is one of the most brilliantly written films ever made. Director Spike Jonze takes Kaufman's tricky plot points and then adds a great balance of meaningful characters and subtle performances from Nicolas Cage, Meryl Streep, and Kansas City native Chris Cooper.
I renounce fish. I vow never to set foot in that ocean again. And I love the ocean.
But why?
Done with fish.
There's literally no other film like it, and very few as compelling as Adaptation. It gets 4 out of 4 stars and is rated R. By the way, Charlie Kaufman, the real Charlie Kaufman, is the screenwriter behind another flight of pseudo-fantasy, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which is also now in theaters. Sam Rockwell stars in this dark comedy based on the autobiography of TV pioneer Chuck Barris, the mind behind the dating game.
A pretty girl asks 3 handsome guys questions, and she picks one to date. That's it. That's the show.
Not to mention the Newlywed Game and The Gong Show.
In addition, I have murdered 33 human beings.
That's right, game show host by day, paid assassin by night. Did it really happen? Who knows? The fact is, Chuck Barris built a career on his own sense of warped reality. Truth or not, it's a great story and a great film by first-time director George Clooney. It's a bittersweet mix of pop culture and somber reflections from a man who gained the world by losing his soul in the process. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind is a near-perfect pitch of dark humor and lost ambitions. It gets 3.5 out of 4 stars and is rated R. And finally, as we focus on lunatic writers, how could we forget Hunter S. Thompson? His torrid chronicles of American excess became the book Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Visionary director Terry Gilliam took on the film version back in '98 with Johnny Depp as Thompson and Benicio del Toro as his lawyer sidekick. Gilliam was very clear about the film he wanted to make. He said, "You're going to love it or you're going to hate it." Well, he was successful. Fear and Loathing is an all-out attack on the senses that centers on Thompson's experiences one lost weekend in Sin City. It's not for the faint of heart, but it is a fascinating exploration of American idealism. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the Criteria Edition, will be in video stores on February 18th. Adaptation, as well as Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, are now playing in theaters. We'll see you next time right here on the front row. Until then, I'm Bob Shultz for KQ2.